Did you know that I ignore the advice my medical team gives me? Also, the only reason why I make videos is because I like to complain. I like to suffer and I like to complain. Actually, you know what? No, that's not true. The only reason why I make YouTube videos is because all I care about is the YouTube algorithm and making money. And everybody knows that when you have 3,500 subscribers, you're making a crap ton of money on YouTube. Well, I didn't know that. At least until I had the very stupid idea of reading one single comment this morning. And it's funny because the person in that comment also mentions, don't bother commenting, he doesn't read comments. Well, no shit. Why would I read comments when you leave comments like that? I already have enough to deal with in my life without having to deal with assholes like you. So why would I read comments? Yeah. As you can probably see, I'm doing a little better today. I did manage to sleep more last night. Obviously I woke up multiple times throughout the night, but I think I slept around probably 8 hours in total, which is not that much, but it's still a lot considering the 5 hours of sleep I had the night before, and the fact that for the last 2 days and the last 2 nights, I've pretty much been in constant pain. It's a little better this morning, but it's hard to tell because the day just started. And unfortunately, today is the day that I go to the hospital to get my immunotherapy treatment, which means walking to the subway station, then walking to the hospital from the subway station, and then, walking to my appointment and everything. So I don't know how my leg's gonna handle that. We'll see. Depending on how I feel after, I will probably go check out the ER just to see how full it is. Obviously, if it's super full, there's no point in spending an entire day at the ER in pain because unfortunately, the pain seems to be worse. At least today, it seems to be worse when I'm sitting down as opposed to lying down, and I can't really lie down in the ER until they actually, check me in and I get to see a doctor and everything. And, that usually takes a long time. So anyway, we'll see. I'll go check after I get my treatment. But that's the thing. It's even if I go and there's not that many people and I'm able to see doctor and everything, they're just going to give me stronger pain meds, which will temporarily, while I'm in the hospital, get rid of most likely the pain, hopefully all of it, if not most of it, but then it's just going to go back to normal when I go home. And that's the thing, that's why I haven't gone so far. Oh no, sorry. Apparently the reason I haven't gone is because I like to complain, I like to suffer, I like to ignore what my medical team tells me. Sorry, I forgot about that. So yeah, anyway. The night was definitely better. Today, so far, pain seems to be slightly less intense. Yesterday was really the worst of it. In fact, I got a new milestone yesterday. For the, I believe, first time in my life, or at least first time since I was diagnosed and had pain as a result of the cancer, I cried from the pain. Now, let me put a caveat. It's not that the pain was so intense that I cried. Yes, it was very intense, but that's not really what caused me to cry. Yes, it's partly the pain, but it's the fact that it's just never ending. It's day after day, night after night, and there's just never any reprieve. That combined with just the exhaustion, the frustration, the hopelessness that comes with that and everything, it just kind of eventually gets to the point where it builds up and you're just I can't take this anymore. And you just need some sort of relief, and that's where the crying comes in. Also, to be fair, it's not like I bawled my eyes out. There's just a couple tears that came out. But yeah, now I can say that I cried from pain, so that's something, I guess. Yeah. I did discover yesterday though, because at some point during the day it was very intense, and I'm like, all right, I need to find a solution. So I'm like, let's try to wrap something around my leg. Maybe the pressure will, for some reason, diminish the pain. So gave it a try, and it did help. Had to play around with it because if it's too tight, then it blocks the blood flow, and then my leg starts to go numb, and that's definitely not good. So anyway, I had to play around with it, but it did help. Because that's the thing, for some reason, pain pills, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It never works completely, like it never gets rid of the pain completely. But sometimes it's like, oh, okay, it's good enough that I don't have to think about it. It's not my sole focus. I can distract myself and not necessarily enjoy the day, but at least not be in constant suffering. And by the way, just to kind of go back to what I was saying before, um, it might seem like I enjoy suffering and I enjoy complaining because otherwise, why wouldn't I go to the doctors and be like, hey, it hurts, give me something more, powerful for the pain? And it's like, yeah, okay, that might temporarily help while I'm suffering, but it's like, the thing is, they don't prescribe something and be like, oh, just take this when you need it. It's like, take this every single day until we tell you to stop. It's basically the equivalent of, oh, I hurt my arm, let me put it in a cast even though it's not broken. That seems completely dumb to me. It's like, yeah, okay, I'll put a cast on if I break my arm. What's the point of putting a cast on 24/7 for months on end if I don't have a broken arm? Because that's the thing. It's like this pain is not constant. It happens every couple months. The last time it was this intense was end of last year. When I was in Nicaragua getting married, we did, a lot of walking around, preparations for the wedding and everything. And it did get to the point where it's so intense that I had to take pain pills. Since then, yeah, okay, I've had a few times where it hurt, but most of the time it's like, oh, okay, it's starting to hurt a bit. Let me just, take it easy for a couple of days, not go for a walk or go for shorter walks, and then, kind of passes. So it would be pointless to put myself on like really intense pain meds just for those couple days every, 3 to 6 months where it gets to the point where it hurts enough that it would be worthwhile. So that's kind of why I haven't gone down that route. Also, to be fair, doctors never said like, hey, you need to take these pain pills. Sure, if I insisted and be like, hey, I have a lot of pain, blah, 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 then they would probably offer something, but it's not necessarily something I want to do. What I will do, as I mentioned today, after my treatment, I'm going to go to the ER, see if there's not too many people. If not, I'll wait. That way, at least, I can see someone and temporarily for a few hours, at least while I'm there, can get rid of the pain, kind of take a little break. And, I'll explain like, hey, here's the situation. It's not a constant pain. It comes for a few days every, 3 to 6 months, something like that. So I don't want to be a constant pain meds. But when it happens, normal pain meds like Tylenol, things like that, don't seem to be sufficient to get rid of the pain. So can you prescribe something that is stronger than that, but I don't have to take all the time, but that I can have on hand whenever this happens so I can deal with it better. That's kind of the approach that I'm gonna try to go with. But we'll see. But it doesn't really matter at the end of the day because apparently I just like to complain. And I just make videos to make money. I still find that funny. So anyway, new milestone. Apparently I'm a horrible person and still in pain, but slightly less than yesterday. We'll see how that goes for the rest of the day, given the fact that I have to walk to the hospital. Not walk all the way to the hospital. I mean, walk to the subway station and then walk from the subway station to the hospital and everything. So we'll see how it goes. At least so far, seems slightly better than yesterday. So hopefully things are slowly getting better. But all part of the journey, all part of the process, and it is what it is. That's the whole point of this. You got to experience what you got to experience. There is a reason why there's this pain, even though it sucks, and I'm obviously going to do what I can to manage it. I'm not going to go to the extreme and just go insane and be like, you know what, let me be on pain pills, like super strong pain pills 24/7 and be drugged out of my mind. Obviously, I'm exaggerating a bit, but anyway. So yeah, that was the update for the day. That was my complaining session for the day, my way to work the YouTube algorithm to get rich. So I'll talk to you at some point in the future.